I think for me, one word of advice would be don't let things linger. If you have something that is bothering you, or you have something that you can feel growing resentment for, call it out. And then if you don't have a safe place to call it out, create that safe space. Like we have our Monday meetings, which creates a really good environment where you can bring out those grievances and you can say, hey, like, when X does this, it bothers me. The story I'm telling myself is X. And the best part is getting it out, because if you don't get it out, you're going to build resentment. You're going to start to judge your roommates. You're going to start to create all of this animosity. And there's usually no good reason for that, because you can just verbalize that and then you guys can come together in a collaborative way to solve the situation. So for me, it's don't let things build up. And I mean, that's like any relationship 101 is not letting things build up.
Christine here with another fun episode of the Co-Living Code Show. Airs every Wednesday. And I wanted to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, ISL Furnishings, which they came on this show a little bit ago. So definitely check out their episode with two of the co-founders, Abe and Mac. They're a brand created through Inner Space Living, and they're all about creating exciting spaces where design meets function. They've actually done quarters in Star City. So they've definitely done some big communities, some awesome stuff. You could see the pictures on their websites. Inner Space parlayed its success in commercial grade unit furniture and conceived an elevated offering. And they strongly believe in the co-living industry, which is cool. And they were founded with the mission to bring your brand to life. Their goal is to revolutionize the unit furniture experience. And driven by creativity, ISL Furnishings believe that interiors should inspire brilliance. Every venue has its own voice. They exist to clarify that voice, interpret your brand vision, and deliver quality on time, every time. And like I said, yes, they've done Star City and quarters, but they've also done smaller communities. They can do 10 beds and up. And you can definitely check them out at islfurnishings.com. So let's go ahead and launch into today's episode. So continuing our fun series on the co-livers in the Entrepreneur House, which is where I live in San Diego, California. This week we're bringing on Christian Chasmer. He is the founder of Vessel Health, which is a really cool in-home health app, and he's also working on in-home COVID testing and has been since COVID started, which is super exciting. So let's go ahead and launch into this week's episode. So this week is our second housemate from the Entrepreneur House here where I live. We are bringing on Christian. We're going to learn so much more about him. Again, we just want to give this great perspective of the types of people that co-live versus, we interview a lot of the operators, obviously, but now we're bringing on some residents. So thank you for coming on this week, Christian.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be here.
Awesome. And then let's start with your age and when did you move in and why?
Sure. I am 28 years old and I moved in right before the pandemic. I moved in March 1st and really moved in because the people in the house were already some of my best friends. And I've always been around the Entrepreneur House, been in the community. And so when I was looking for a new place, magically a spot opened up and I was happy to jump in.
Awesome. And then, and I know there's a few of our residents actually had breakups right before they came in. I think actually half the house, 3 of the guys. So that was another reason why you're looking for a place, obviously.
Yep, that's exactly right. This is the house of breakups, apparently.
That's how we recruit, right? We find those people. So the next question I have is, let's talk about your company. So it's kind of cool because, we were telling people, I had been sharing, hey, we're doing COVID tests here in the house because one of the housemates is developing it, and that was back when when was that? You started working on that back in April?
Yeah, like middle of March, so right around the same time everything was happening. Yeah, so partner and COO at Vessel Health. We're a health tech company. We have a test card for general health and wellness. And then when COVID started happening, we realized that the same technology and algorithms we were building for our health and wellness card could be adapted to look and find antibodies for COVID. So I actually just got off the phone with the VA. We were wrapping up our VA clinical trial. The data looks great. We're going to submit to the FDA in the next couple of weeks for our own at-home antibody test.
Which is so awesome. So we're like, the whole house is so excited and proud of Christian. So it's rad that we get to be kind of along for the ride and see that progress. And definitely go into a little more detail about vessel health, like the test cards you were explaining in general.
Yeah, sure. So the health and wellness card, basically it's a test card at home. You would pee on the test card, and you would take a photo of the test card with your app, and it'll tell you your levels of up to 15 different health markers. So it'll tell you your B7, your B9, your cortisol, your magnesium, your pH, your vitamin C, your hydration, and then the ketones A and ketones B as well. And then from there, the app will tell you what foods to eat to get into the optimal range of everything you're deficient in. And then you have a custom supplement that you can purchase as well that's based on your results. So it has everything you need, nothing you don't need. So the whole idea is to, one, give access to your health information, understand what's going on inside your body in your home, and then also be able to act on it and change your food and your supplement regimen so that way you can be in the optimal range and live a healthier, happier life.
Yay. And I know that you guys pre-sold so many of the cards and you guys are in production shipping them to all the people. So we're waiting. The housemates are waiting. We can't wait to start using it. So no, that's awesome. And it's, again, it's been so fun to kind of be along for the ride. And, like we're talking about on each episode, we have the Monday night meetings. So we all kind of
Mhm.
know every week what everybody's working on, their progress. So let's talk about that. And you lead the Monday night meetings. So definitely kind of talk about the structure and what you get out of it.
Yeah, sure. So the Monday night meetings, there's basically three parts of it. One is the acknowledgments and core value call outs and just being able to acknowledge the other housemates for something you're noticing around them, right? Because the people you live with, you know so much about them and more than what they could probably even understand about themselves, you know, their patterns and what their quirks, etc. So being able to acknowledge everybody is a really good support system. And then from there, we go into any house topic that we need to go into. So, talking about how the organization of the house is working, what's working for people, what's not working for people, what trips we're doing, what events we're running, etc. And then the other half of the meeting is built for support. So, basically, you jump into any share and update that you have over the past week, what's going on in your life and your business, what's going on in your personal life, and then if you have any questions or support or topics you want to bring up and talk and present with the team, then you have that space for that as well. So then we all go around, kind of like a round table, and do that update slash topic.
Awesome. And then we forgot, and people would actually love doing this. I've been recommending it to a lot of people. The 4x4. You want to explain the 4x4, which
Yeah.
is how we get into state at the beginning of the meeting?
Yeah, 4x4 breathing is one of my favorite things to do in the beginning of a meeting. I do it with our team meetings as well in the company. Basically, it's just 4 seconds breathing in, 4 seconds pause at the top of your breath, 4 seconds breathing out, 4 seconds pause at the bottom of your breath, and then you do that 4 times. And it's just a really great reset to get present, get to where you are, kind of flush out everything that's going on inside your mind, and then be fully ready for the meeting ahead. And you can do that for any situation, honestly. I
I
do it
do.
before certain calls and other things too.
I do when I'm driving even sometimes. Yeah, I love
Mm.
that reset. No, and the meetings are every Monday night, 7 to 9. So we schedule business trips around it, vacations. We try to make sure we're home for it. It's pretty rare. Uh, People don't show up. I think there's $100 fine if you just like. I think we have to give 24-hour notice. Again, it's never been an issue, but I think we're great about that. And then I know you mentioned our core values, which I've never listed them on the show yet. And then I pulled them up. So I'm cheating a little bit. I should have these memorized by now. They haven't changed. I know we added a couple of extra ones this year. So for those listening, our core, and I really recommend your guys' homes do these, everybody that's co-living. I think it's important to live by certain values: accountability, integrity, growth, health and fitness, support, vulnerability, a group 10, transparency, courage, and fun. Oh, Christian, I would love for you to explain what a group 10 is.
Okay. A group 10 is a situation that is a 10 out of 10 for everybody involved. So let's say there's five of us that really want to do something and we're all about it. And the one person, like, hey guys, this isn't a group 10 for me. They're encouraged to call that out. And then we can work as a team to collaboratively come up with a way that makes it a 10 out of 10 for everybody. So it's a good way for someone who feels like they're not getting the full experience of something to be able to easily call it out and say, hey, that's actually not a group 10 for me. And then as a team, we would say, okay, well, how can we make this a group 10?
Which is really awesome because I think in a lot of circumstances it's like majority rules, and then the people that they're you're not working it out with the other people because they're like, great, majority ruled. This sucks. So I really really love that we do that. I mean, of course, some subjects it's a little we have to get super creative. If it's not a group 10 for one or two people and it is for the rest of the group. I was excited that the dog was a group 10 for everybody because I know for a few people it was like, I don't know. But we all love Sierra and she's been a blast. So that was cool. So let's see here. Another question is like, what do you personally like best about co-living?
It's a great question. What I like best about co-living, there's a lot to love about co-living, especially, I came in right before the pandemic. So for us, it's basically been just one big summer camp of fun and different things. I think what I love best about it is how close you get with everybody in the house, and you have different dynamics with different people in the house. Like me and Ryan, we're like soul brothers. We're always talking about music. We're having witty banter back and forth. And then me and Matt, we're working out together and having different conversations. So I think I just really enjoyed the different dynamic that you get to build with everybody in the house, and the friendship that you build with the people in the house. I think that's the best part.
And then I know you touched a little bit on summer camp. Me and Ryan talked about it last week, but explain summer camp and your favorite parts of it. I already know one answer. I won't say it. You're going to say it.
Oh man, summer camp is what we've called the pandemic and the quarantine, because we have 6 entrepreneurs now that aren't traveling around the world all the time. So we're home in this big house, and it's basically one big camp. We've been watching movies on the projector and the sound system, like all the Lord of the Rings, the Avengers, like all Inception, all the good ones. We've been playing board games. We've been ordering Cold Stone, which is one of my favorite parts. I think a full life is a life full of Cold Stone. We've been playing mini golf. We've been going on boats. So it's been a lot of fun in terms of, what we're making the best out of a situation that can be really. You could feel really enclosed sometimes if you're only in your house for so long, but we're making the best of it, and it's been a blast.
I knew you were going to say Cold Stone's ice cream.
Oh yeah.
And it's so cool that we get it delivered. And I'm surprised that it's never melted. I don't know how they do that, but yeah, it's when
Yeah.
it shows up, it's fine. And we kind of rotate around on who needs to order it on the app. So yeah, summer camp has definitely been so much fun. And then, let's launch into the cool. And again, I know the pandemic started, right when you moved in. So you didn't really get to enjoy, the monthly wine nights, the masterminds. So let's just talk about the quarterly retreats, because I know you've participated in you've already been in 3 of them, right? 3 quarterly retreats.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
3.
So yeah, talk about kind of what we do and how you experience those.
Yeah, sure. So the quarterly retreats are basically a weekend. We go Thursday through Sunday, where we get out, we get away from the day to day, and we have an opportunity to really reflect on the past quarter. So, one of the ways that we did it this time, which I thought was really great, was going through the wheel of life, different areas of your life, and thinking what events or what things moved your energy up, and then what things and events in that certain area moved your energy down. Which I really love that framework, because we're getting away from like the quantification of things and really moving into like your inner being of like, what did move my energy up and give me energy and full of love, and then what did not, what took away from my energy. So it's a really good opportunity to just get out, get some reflection in, some deep thought in about the last quarter, and then the next day is about, okay, then what's going to happen, what are you going to continue to focus on the next quarter. So if you want to create goals, you can create goals. If you want to talk about what things you want to do, like themes or projects or challenges, you could focus on those. So for me, a lot of times everyone is so head down in their work all over the world, not just in the entrepreneurs, but everybody. They're so focused on the day to day that they rarely lift their head up and look around and say, hey, is this the life I want to live? Am I being the person I want to be? Who am I, right? People don't really ask that question because you're so focused on your day to day getting things done. But we're human beings, not human doings. So having this time to reflect on that is, to me, one of the most vital things you can do as a self-actualized human being.
Definitely. Yeah. And we just got back. We just went last weekend. So that was cool. We planned for fourth quarter. This year's almost over. I can't believe it. So let's see here. Well, we'll talk about that too. If you were to ever move out, what would be your best guess on why? But you just told us last weekend, which we were super bummed, but we get it, on the reason why in the area you're moving to. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So, reason why I will be moving out over the next few months is really just a continuation of my own journey, wanting to get into the mountains more, like Utah, Colorado area, travel a bit more, and really create my own space, create my own energy, get out into nature a lot more. There's so much going on in San Diego, and it's a great place. I've been here longer than anywhere besides my hometown, which is really weird to think about. I've been here longer than South Carolina, Boston, a couple other places I've lived. So that's interesting. But for me, it's really about creating my own space, getting into my own energy, living alone for a bit, getting away for a bit, and getting into nature a lot more.
And yeah, you've never lived alone before. And I do always recommend, I have. And so I do recommend everybody should live alone. That's the other reason why people move out sometimes. It's either it's significant other moves them out, or they've never lived alone yet. Like Chandler, I know that's why Chandler had moved out originally.
Mhm.
So no, we get it. We're sad. Christian's definitely and the other roommates will attest to this, the hardest working person in the home. Like he sets the bar so high. It's so inspiring. He's literally he made the garage into a gym, during when COVID started. And he's in there 6 a.m. every day, like clockwork, starts work at 7 a.m. Like he's just like hustling all day long. That's why he's like, okay, Chrissy, I've got a hard stop at this time. I could do the interview, but this one where it's not going to be a very long interview, but that's okay. I appreciate you taking the time. I know how busy you are with your company. Yeah. And so we don't even, that's what's unique too, is a lot of us working from home. We never really see each other, maybe passing in the kitchen to grab some water, but we're all working all day, obviously. Let's see here. Oh, my last question. See, we're wrapping up already. Any words of advice to those who are thinking about co-living with others, or they already do?
That's a good question. I think for me, one word of advice would be don't let things linger. If you have something that is bothering you, or you have something that you can feel growing resentment for, call it out. And then if you don't have a safe place to call it out, create that safe space. Like we have our Monday meetings, which creates a really good environment where you can bring out those grievances and you can say, hey, like, when X does this, it bothers me. The story I'm telling myself is X. And the best part is getting it out, because if you don't get it out, you're going to build resentment. You're going to start to judge your roommates. You're going to start to create all of this animosity. And there's usually no good reason for that, because you can just verbalize that and then you guys can come together in a collaborative way to solve the situation. So for me, it's don't let things build up. And I mean, that's like any relationship 101 is not letting things build up, getting them out, speaking your truth, and then always having with a positive intent behind that truth.
That is awesome. So any final thoughts, final words about co-living?
Try it out. As long as you're with good people, it's an amazing experience. And yeah, summer camp forever.
Yes. Awesome, Christian. Well, thanks again for coming on this week. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Christy, have a great day.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. If you want to learn more about co-living, you could check out my book on Amazon, The Co-Living Code. And of course, if you're looking for the perfect software to power your co-living concept, check out Kndrd.io, Kndrd.io.